3, 2, 1. Why were we drinking ballerina tea at the sleepover, Mama? That's crazy. You will get woke. We're allies. Hey. Hey. I said every Thursdays and Sundays I'd be uploading. That was a lie. That was a lie. Well, it wasn't a lie. I get busy. I'm a busy girl, and sometimes I want to come home and I want to not talk for 2 hours, and I want to giggle at TikTok. Okay? The whole premise of me doing these is that I don't put stress on myself. So, I'm really sorry if you expect regular uploads that's not gonna happen. My hair, I washed my hair yesterday, and it's been, fun to deal with. And yes, we've got makeup done today. I wanted to feel pretty. Didn't really work because I think my period's coming. And I know it's coming because I'm so bloated and swollen everywhere, and I'm breaking out. I have a pimple patch here and here. Anyways, we're gonna do like a mukbang kind of shit. I don't know how it's gonna work with me having to hold this and eat. I got Subway. She got away. She got away. She got away. She got away. Anyway, what I wanted to do originally was do a get ready with me. So I was gonna do my makeup and talk. And then I just did my makeup. So we're gonna eat and talk. And that might be gross for some people, but I'm gonna try and like not have like eating sounds, because I know some people freak out with that. I'm sorry. But for some of you freaks, some of you freaks out there, you're gonna get off to this, whatever. Send me 10 bands if you are. Oh, I don't even know what to do with my phone because I have to charge it and I have to eat. We're just gonna probably have to get messy. Got messy. The topic of discussion today is gonna be, because, you know, I was gonna do the get ready with me, and I was like, you know, I kind of got to thinking about how my relationship with, like, makeup when I was, like, a preteen. I don't know what happened. It was weird. Like, the way I grew up was so strange because it was not internet, and then it went to boom internet at, like, the age of 10. And it was really, like, weird and new, and I don't know. So, like, the first social media I got was, like, Facebook at age 10. Because which, by the way, why would you let your 10-year-old on Facebook? And from the way I see it is, it was like, bleh. I didn't even eat yet. The way I think people saw it was like, oh, you're gonna connect with your family, which is true because a lot of my family lived out of state. So they get to, like, connect with me. I get to connect with them basically instantly instead of, like, calling or whatever. I can just post whatever and they can see about it and share it. And so in doing that, you know, and then there was YouTube, you get exposed to, like, so many different things. My first thing I remember getting exposed to that was, like, quote unquote woke was BuzzFeed. And baby, I flooded my conservative family's feeds with gay people, with immigrants, trans people. I said, we're allies. But it was weird because I think there was also, like, the sub-manosphere of, like, well, the manosphere, literally the manosphere, that kind of was, like, infiltrating young minds. Not that I was into, like, the conservatism part of the internet at a young age. Let me eat. I ain't even eating, I'm talking. Cheers. I did take one bite earlier, and it was really good, so cheers. This is a chicken, bacon, and ranch. I haven't eaten, it's 2 p.m. This is my first meal. God damn. Oh, that's some good shit. And, you know, usually I get this on Italian and herb. But my sister ordered this, so I don't think she did it right. It's okay. It's still good. I don't think I ever I never did fall into, like, the conservative pipeline online. Thank God. Thank fucking God that I found the liberalism of, like, 2014, 2015. Not even. It was, like, 2013. Well, that span of the era. Thank God I found the little white liberals of BuzzFeed who were like, hey, gay people are okay. Gay people are awesome. I said, oh, Wait, you're fucking right. You're true as fuck. Like, you're true as fuck. But I think, you know, when you grow up, and this is all literally all to be like, kind of internalized misogyny ends up manifesting one way or another in a preteen's mind, because I had like, for a while I was like, ooh, makeup. I've always been a girly girl. I always loved dressing up. I hate watching, sometimes I get like mukbang TikToks and like they get ranch and they like get it dripping on their fucking chin and shit. It's kind of gross. It's kind of nasty, I'm sorry, it really is. Like, why are you doing that, bro? And that's how I know I get into fetish content on accident. That's so besides the point of what I'm trying to even talk about right now, but have y'all noticed that sometimes you get a mukbang and they kind of do things where you're like, this is for a specific group of people. I don't know why I'm seeing it. I was just hungry. But I'm getting into, like, something a little fucking scary right now. And 9 times out of 10, I'm always right. You click on their, like, their profile, and they have, like, a link to a Fansly, and it's like, I'm a feeder. I'm like, oh. Oh. So, yeah, I've always been a girly girl, but I don't know what happened. Maybe you know what it is? It was, like, the feminists back then who were like, you don't need to wear makeup to be beautiful. Which, period. But also, it did kind of dip into, like, trad wife conservatism. Like, oh, your husband wants you... You know, that kind of, like, spear of, like, oh, your husband likes you to be natural kind of shit. Without really saying it. And so, that kind of happens. And then I went from, oh, I want to get makeup and paint my nails and do all this, to being like, I'm never going to wear makeup. I don't like wearing makeup. I remember telling that to my mom. And now I think back on it, I'm like, Mama, you're fine. But it's crazy. It really is crazy. And now I think it's always been an issue, honestly. I think there's always been an issue of, like, young minds being online and seeing the content that these grown people put out with their own personal morals and opinions, kind of, and it's influencers. I think influencers are kind of really scary and daunting for newer generations, because these are kids. Like, kids are gonna believe literally anything you fucking tell them. They really are. If you don't believe me, if you have a niece or nephew, literally go and tell them, like, the fucking volcanoes are pink, and they're gonna believe you. And then 10 years later, they're gonna be like, remember when you told me volcanoes were pink? I believed you for like 5 years. And you're gonna be like, why would you do that? Because they're babies. They don't fucking know better. You didn't know better. So it's like, I don't know, people need to be careful, because kids soak up anything. I soaked up anything I watched online. It was bad. This is good as fuck, bro. I'm so hungry. Oh my god. I don't know how Stephanie Sue does it. How the fuck, literally any mukbanger, how do y'all do this? Because I'm about to just sit here and eat the rest of this shit. I don't even know what I was talking about. I keep getting distracted by my food. I don't know, it's like a complete rejection of just like anything feminine, which I have learned a lot of young girls go through. And I don't know what that could be too. It could be from cultural influence. It could be from stuff online. For me, it was, I think, a bit of both. It was stuff online. But I can't tell you if I did see a lot of, like, it was that stuff, like the subtle, like, internalized misogyny, kind of masking it as being like woke liberal shit, which is kind of making a turn now. It's kind of rehashing, which I'm really freaking scared about. And I know people are like, oh god, conservatism is on a rise, like it's happening again, like what's going on? I'm like, it's because of this internet. And I was reading a book. I actually have it right here. It's called Shakespeare Alive. It's by Joseph Papp and Elizabeth Kirkland. And it was really just like an in-depth kind of look into Shakespeare, what he means to culture, what he meant at the time that he was coming up, like the reason he even began, kind of thing. And there's a section about the Renaissance, and it really struck me because it was like a birth of so many things people don't understand. And I guess it was a span of like a handful of years, but I was reading, I was like, Jesus, like, is that ever, I made a note in it, I was like, is that ever going to happen to us again? Like, are we ever going to see this sort of renaissance, or are we going to be cursed with this constant knowledge every single day? There's no there are new discoveries, but they happen every fucking second, and then they're buried under something else that happens. So it's like, it feels like there's no renaissance because we are constantly tuned the fuck in. You know what I mean? Back then, like, people were literally, like, there were so many things they discovered that to now was just common knowledge. I don't know, the way they phrased it in this, I was like, wow, like, I don't know, it made me feel a little claustrophobic, if that's a good way to describe our current social media, like, political climate. It is so suffocating. I don't know, it makes me feel like, what else could there even be left to, like, discover, man? Like, we've already done so much. And I know that's a pretty pessimistic look at things. Like, I try not to, again, I'm trying to be nuanced everything I say and do and think. And I know that is a pessimistic way of looking at things because, of course, there are new discoveries. I just mean the barrage of it happening every 2 fucking milliseconds is a lot. That's a lot. I don't think the normal mind is capable of even handling that, you know? So... And when I start thinking like that, I think of that one video where they have, like, phones and they're, like, scrolling into the kid's head. This is literally how I feel sometimes with social media. I'm like, bro, I can't. Like, I will spend... Oh, my God. I have to delete TikTok again. I need to do a TikTok cleanse again. And, like, get a hobby. And do something. I don't know. Maybe play The Sims again. Because I keep going to TikTok. I'll cycle between TikTok and Twitter. And it's so bad. It's so bad. And I don't know why. Because nothing on there is, like, helpful. On either of these platforms, nothing on there is helpful at all. But it is crazy, this really rise of whatever the fuck is going on. I don't even know, dude. And I get really worried about young kids. Like, I babysit my cousins sometimes, and to hear the stuff they say online, like, to their friends, it concerns me, and I don't know how to approach it because, one, I don't know if this is something their parents are teaching them. If so, I don't know if that's my place to correct it. You know what I mean? I mean, I can do as much to be like, oh, hey, we shouldn't say that, you know, those people are people. But if it's something parents are influencing, it's really hard because sometimes parents take offense to that. And I'm not trying to start fucking drama because I don't give a fuck. But it is crazy to hear, like, not even a 10-year-old be like, oh, you should block this guy because he's gay. Baby, what do you even know about that? Like, who is teaching you this shit? Oh my God. That's so harmful. And you're not even in middle school yet. What are you talking about? Yeah, I am glad I never really fell down that pipeline. I certainly, I mean, not to say I didn't get any negatives on the internet, you know, especially influences, especially as a young girl. Like, you just see some bullshit all the time. I don't know, I get worried. People don't teach their kids about internet safety anymore because it's so common. It is so common to see, like, a 5-year-old knowing how to work an iPad more than their mother. Like, that is fucking scary. These are kids. These are babies. They don't know anything. Someone online could literally be like, hey, where's your address? And this kid will say, oh, it's blah, 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 blah. To be fair, though, I do think now, because kids are so used to being online, some of them have better internet safety than I might have had. Because they're kind of born with it. But are they going to use that internet safety? Probably not. Probably fucking not. And, you know, their parents' credit card information is probably going to be out there somewhere. It's going to happen. Like, when I was, like, 8 or something, I was reading this book series on my Kindle Fire. And I really wanted the rest of the series, but I didn't know how money worked. But I saw that they were on the Amazon bookstore, and I said, oh, buy. I bought like 3 books. That was like almost $100 on my mom's card. Because I didn't know how money worked. But yeah, let your 3-year-old play fucking Roblox and ask for Robux, and watch them enter your credit card information. They can't even read yet. What? What the fuck? What is that? I need a bite. Yeah, bro. You know, I do think very often, like, what is the future gonna look like? Like, I know in 2015 a lot of people were like, oh, in 10 years, like, what's social media gonna be, like, what are the news gonna be, how are people gonna be interacting? No one could have predicted COVID. I think no one could have predicted. I think COVID really shifted everything. Like, it was just a weird catalyst of like everything, because now people just don't interact the way they used to, you know. And this isn't me being like, oh, back in my day. But I think there's some truth to it. Like, I don't know. Especially in smaller communities. It depends, I guess. Down here in the South, smaller communities really, when they say it's a community, it's a community. With COVID, it really did, kind of shoot down a lot of that community feeling. And I work in the library, so it's like, that's what we thrive off of, is our local communities. So it's hard to organize things now. A lot of people kind of just don't see the need to. They don't see the need for libraries anymore. Especially after COVID, people are like, oh, I can just do everything online, which is fine. But I don't know, like, it's important to seek physical connection. It's important to talk to people. Now, I will say, social media did have a big influence on how I viewed myself. And I can't really remember, you know, it could have been social media, it could have been, like, cultural factors, it could have been my family. That sort of influence of my own negative view of myself, whether it be, like, my body image or, like, my face or, like, whatever. My self-esteem was not the best in high school, or middle school for that matter. I do think social media had an influence because pretty skinny white girls who were blowing up on Tumblr for their little plaid skirts that I could never fit into, because the second I sit down, everything's coming out, you know. I do think, like, the Tumblr, like, eating disorder shit, and again, I didn't get, you know, that side of Tumblr really didn't get to me, but I think outside, eventually it leaks everywhere else, and so you kind of see it everywhere. So I don't know. It also didn't help that it did influence, like, my friend groups in, like, middle school, high school. Like, eating disorders ran rapid. They ran rapid with my friends, bless their hearts. So that didn't really help. Not blaming them. It just kind of happened. Like, why were we drinking ballerina tea? Why were we drinking ballerina tea at the sleepover, mama? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god. I really want to know what the science behind online conservatism is. You go online, conservatives are insane. What is that? I don't understand. Maybe I do understand why conservatism, like, online conservatism. I think it's a cash grab. And here's just, not to say they aren't conservative. I think they are. I think there's a level of truth on how they think and move and act. However, the mania that they kind of accumulate over time, I think, is a cash grab. I think they have people being like, hey, this is really good if you play this up and, like, start screaming and bullshit. They're putting on a persona, is what I think. Most of them. I think the other half are very fucking insane. That's what I think. But it is insane the way they mobilize. It's crazy. My Twitter at one point got like completely suspended because I had mass amount of conservatives reporting me because I quote retweeted some Australian news segment of people who detransition, and by the way, it was a conservative Australian news site that was purposefully using these people as a way to demonize trans people by publishing stories of people detransitioning. And these people would talk shit about trans people and about being trans and blame it on online forums for the reason that they decided to be trans. And I quote retweeted and I was like, trans people who agree to be a part of these conservative, harmful ass stories. And then I did insinuate violence against them. My bad. My bad for speaking the fucking truth. But then all of these conservatives started replying to me, quote retweeting me, calling me fucking everything under the book. Everything under the book. I had people throwing violence back to me. I said, what the fuck? What the fuck? Now y'all care about trans people? What? Like, it's insane the mobilization that it takes. And it can literally just me being like, hey, I actually don't fuck with these people. And that's not to say you can't detransition. I really don't give a fuck. Your journey is your journey. I don't care. I'm saying specifically the trans people who dip into these conservative forums knowing it's harmful to trans people. That's what I'm saying. Who actively support these stories being put out knowing it's damaging these communities. Those people fucking suck. And I'm never going back on that take. You people suck. You suck and you're horrible. That's what I think. So I don't blame all of these young kids who get sucked into the conservative, like, these spheres online, because it's horrific the way they move. It is horrible. They truly believe they are, like, sent by fucking God to give the gospel on being homophobic. Just pure hatred and bigotry and, like, arrogance. It's horrible. Because sometimes I try to humanize these people. I'm like, you have families. Oh, maybe. You have people who care about you. Because in my mind, basic human empathy is so... You have it. You have it. If not, work on it a little bit and it's there. I can't, like... Okay, here's an example. There's an actor who played Superman in, like, 1990, 80 or something. I think it was part of a Lois and Clark TV show. I tried sitting and watching it. I got to, like, 4 episodes in. Because he looked hot. Also, Asian Superman. I said, hell yeah. Yes. Come to find out, he just signed up with ICE. He signed up to work with ICE, and he was also appointed to be, like, president of the fucking, like, IRA or NRA, whatever the fuck. I said, okay. That's fun. But mind you, he played Superman, and you're gonna, like, go home and go on, like, a Joe Rogan podcast and start bashing on immigrants. You played Superman. You're gonna bash on immigrants? You know, I have no sympathy for people who work in ICE. I really don't. Because I can't understand these people have families. I know they have families. You clock into work to separate children from their mothers, and then you go home to your fucking kids. I really can't understand in a world, in a human mind, I cannot comprehend what you tell yourself to make you feel good. You have to be consuming the craziest they have to be brainwashing motherfuckers when you're training for ICE. Like, there's no fucking way you can live with yourself and do that. That's insane to me. I think I'm cursed with nuance because, again, is it worth it to try and humanize people like this, like conservative people? Probably not. Because they're not trying to humanize me or literally anyone else. So it's like, should I be extending that kindness to them? But if watching the new Superman taught me anything, be kind. Kindness is human. And we are all human at the end of the day, so we all need to be kind. That's what I took away from Superman. which is fucking awesome. I think James Gunn should get, like, the Medal of Honor. I think he should get the Medal of Honor. Like, I'm not even kidding. That man is insane. You know, I wonder, because for me, whenever I try to get into the mind of, like, people who are very heavily conservative, and I try to think of, like, their reactions to, like, Palestine, or to just immigrants in general, or people of color in general, like, I try to get into that mindset of, like, I hate this person for no reason, and I cannot get it. I can't fathom it logically. Or it's not hate for no reason, but it's hate because of this specific thing. But to me, I cannot get it into my head why I should hate that. Why I should hate that person for this thing that they can't fucking control. And even then, I don't know, like, I have my fair share of people I don't fuck with, and I don't know. I don't know. This is, you know, it's a tricky situation when all I can say is, I don't know. Because I just can't fathom not being kind about certain things and having empathy for people. You know what I mean? And because it always makes me, it really pisses me off. Like, working where I work, we get a lot of people who go through a lot of things. I've had people come in asking me for the nearest family court because, like, their husband or their boyfriend or their girlfriend took their kids and now they need help to get the kids back. I've had people come to me and say they need help finding someone who can get them a house because they just lost their house and they're homeless. Like, I've had so many people with so many different situations. I've had people come in who are struggling with addiction. And still, I will see people react to them as if they're, like, a nuisance, as if they're annoying, as if whatever issues they have going on is so fucking inconvenient to them. And it pisses me off. It really pisses me off because, like, I will go to no end to help someone, you know, especially where I'm at, where I'm with work. Like, and it's not just like a customer service thing. It really is, I feel for this person and I want to give them the best possible option I can to hopefully get them in the right direction. So I guess it is a pet peeve of mine when no one has fucking empathy for anyone anymore. Why are you acting like that? There's no point to act like that. We already have way too much going on in the world. You don't need to be a fucking bitch to someone who is asking for help. Help them. What the fuck? Holy shit. It's like second nature to me. I don't even think about it. You know, and the time we have a few regulars who come in who are homeless or they're struggling, and anytime I don't see them for a while, I get worried. Like, what's going on? I hope they're safe. All this stuff, because I never know what happens to them. Especially where I live, anything could fucking happen to them, and it's scary. And so, I don't know, human connection, it's important. It teaches you how to be fucking kind. And when you reject that, when you sit on your fucking high horse and think, oh, I make all this money, I don't need to mess with people like this because they just want my money. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yes, people want money. It's how they get help. If I could give people fucking money from work, I would. Holy shit. Like, dude. And maybe it's like what I was taught growing up, like the whole love thy neighbor. And this is religion shit. Even though we stopped going to church and, like, kind of getting into religion when I was like 10 or 11 or 12. It's still ingrained, especially if you've been in the South and you go to church. Everywhere you go, people would say God bless you. You don't really outrun it. But, you know, like the love thy neighbor, like Jesus gave this person his shoes and his cloak and like all of this stuff because he was in need, and he didn't think twice about it because he had his own things. He was fine, but this person was less than, so he wanted to be able to provide them with more out of the kindness of his heart. And so that's a lesson. That's a lesson. People need to take that, not to get, you know, everyone get Christian. But Christians will, I don't understand how they can negate that. Where it's like, oh, love thy neighbor, but only thy neighbor who looks like you and has the same tax bracket as you. What is that shit? What? I don't understand it. Again, not to make it like, oh, religions do this, but you see the common thread, you know, and it's not the religion itself, it is the people who teach it. And it's their moral compass and their influence and their conservative views that gets seeped into the gospel that they preach to their congregations, and then that congregation goes out and spreads that hate, thinking it's love, when it's not. It's selfish, and it's hate, and it's ignorance, and it's horrific. It's horrific. You think you're teaching love and you're spreading it. You are actively harming people. You don't even realize. You can go out and spread a word, whatever, but do so with empathy and love. That thing where it's like, everyone get woke now. Please. Please, Lord, we need it. We need the woke. We need it. We need woke bad. So yeah, what did I even talk about? Conservatism. Conservatism and kindness. Everyone get woke. Everyone get woke right now. You'll get woke. You will get woke. I do think it is easy, though, to find the conservatism. They flood social media right now. They are flooding it. You can never escape it. And the AI shit, why is everything AI? What the fuck is going on? What is going on, dude? I'll watch a video on TikTok. There was this one video, oh my god. Everyone had to have seen it because it blew the fuck up, of bunnies on a trampoline. Why? I even liked the fucking video. I said, oh, there's so many little bunnies on this little trampoline and they're jumping. Oh, I gave it a little like. Why'd I get a video a day later saying, did you guys see the AI bunny on a trampoline video? I said, What? And I'm usually good at spotting like the AI. Sometimes people will be like, oh, this is, you know, that hand is why you have 3 hands kind of situation. Like, it's easy. There's a thing to AI. That scared me. I hate when that happens. That scares the fuck out of me. Why did that look real? Because AI and manosphere is the trend. We need to trend like fucking like Visco and like Lululemon. I don't know. Literally anything else. Please get anything else trending. Like, I don't even care what the fuck it is. Crocs. I don't know. Literally anything. I can't. It's crazy the way everything is now. I don't understand it. I wish I could. I wish I had an answer. I would love to talk to like a philosophy professor. I wish I could go back in time and talk to like the Greek philosophers, even though half of them wouldn't look at me because I'm a woman. There would be a few that would kind of have a key. That would be fun, and I could ask them hypotheticals because I don't want to like expose the secrets of the world to them, but I'd say hypothetically, what if this happened in about 1,000 years? What then? And then they would probably have an aneurysm, and then, you know, something happens. I don't know. It'd be like a butterfly effect in history. Maybe I go back in time, ask a really hard question to like fucking Socrates, and he goes, oh, I don't even know, or whatever. He's Greek. I don't know Greek. And he's like, and then he just lights out. Next thing you know, I go back into the present. Everyone speaks Spanish. Okay. Okay, period. Like, Spain conquered America. Some fucking how. I don't know. That's a weird way to end this. I can't believe I've been sitting here for an hour. I think half of that spent in silence. I really don't remember what I talked about. I don't even know. And then I gotta record another one on like Monday, because I'm gonna be, by the time you guys watch this, while you're watching this, I'm literally on a plane. I'm gonna be on a plane and I'm gonna be landing in New York. And I'm gonna be in fucking New York. Hey, it's me in higher quality than what you're used to. I'm editing this right now, and I just want to say I'm not in New York when you're watching this, because I fell asleep in the airport while I was editing the day that I was gonna upload it. Anyway. So just whatever comes out of her mouth for the next like 10-15 minutes, just don't. She's a liar. She's a liar and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay. See ya. And I'm gonna have fucking fun. I watched a tarot reading. Earlier, which I don't do often, but I tuned in to this one lady, because the times I have tuned in, she's been accurate and scary. Also, I don't recommend tarot readings if you're prone to like psychosis. Just a fair warning. Anyway, but she was like, oh, this is gonna be a good week for you. You're gonna be traveling and you're gonna have fun and you're gonna be in your energy. I said, oh, thank God, bro. Thank fucking God, dude. Oh my God. Had me scared. I was a little scared there for a second. But yeah. So, that's fun. That's awesome. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'll be on a plane. I'll be traveling. I'm gonna be singing Wicked. Don't. Wicked. What they say? Look, it's Glinda. Let us be glad. Let us be grateful. Let us rejoice to find that goodness could subdue the wicked workings of you know who. Isn't it nice to know that good will conquer evil? The truth will believe by and by. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna be seeing Wicked, and I'm seeing Oh Mary, starring Jinx freaking Monsoon, and I posted that on my story, and she looked at it. Okay, so it's only fair, since I'm talking about it in here, that I'm gonna do it, and then I already said I have been there and I'm home now. I did see Oh Mary. It was amazing. We went to stage door after, and Jinx came out, and she came directly towards us, and I asked her for a picture, and she signed my playbill, and when we took a picture, she hugged me, and I still think about it, I still think about it. It was the most motherly hug I've ever felt in my life. Miss Monsoon, if you ever see this, I adore you to no end, and I do think the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I loved you in Doctor Who. Oh, God. And she was on vocal rest, so she wasn't even speaking, but she had these really dark sunglasses on. I could feel her love. And when I said that, she kind of smiled very big. So I'm just going to take it as like, oh, I was like, oh, nice kind of thing. So thank you. That was great. That was the highlight. Jinx Monsoon hugged me. She hugged me, and it felt like I've known her my whole life. Oh my God. She was so kind. She wasn't even speaking. She literally was like Mother Mary. I'm not even gonna... Anyway. Wow. Highlight of the trip, by the way. Like, nothing can ever beat that. Anyways, I'm gonna get by. And if you know me, and you know my love of Jinx Monsoon, you know I literally almost threw up on my desk at work when I saw that. So I'm excited. Apparently she also does stage door. What the fuck? I don't even know. I've never met anyone famous. What the fuck? Hamilton. I'm not gonna see Hamilton. I really wish I was. I'm not even kidding. I would sacrifice a limb just to see fucking Hamilton. Specifically with Leslie Odom Jr. back as Burr. Because I love Leslie Odom Jr. I'm just gonna go in front of the theater. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm literally just gonna stand at the sign and go like this. And I'm just gonna, like, take a fucking picture. I might even ask, like, one of the staff, I'm like, can I just go inside and take a picture of, like, the stage? They're gonna tell me no. I'm not asking anyway. Maybe Lin-Manuel Miranda will be out there and he'll be like, come here. And he's gonna give me a free ticket. And I'm gonna say, bro, I can't. I'm supposed to be seeing, like, 3 other shows tonight. Which is true. I'm seeing Wicked, I'm seeing Oh Mary, and we're seeing Death Becomes Her. I can't wait. I'm so excited. There's also, like, a fucking disease outbreak happening over there. Which doesn't really do good for my nerves. I swear TikTok knows when I travel. When I was gonna go to Austin, Texas earlier this year, I kept getting videos about the serial killer there, and I asked my friends, and she was like, they only kill men. So, like, I was fine after that. But it gets into my brain. Again, watch my previous video about my anxiety. I don't even talk about things out loud because I'm scared they'll happen to me. So. But the only reason I'm talking about this disease that's happening over there is because it's happening in neighborhoods that I won't be in. Not that... I have to knock on wood. Sorry. But yeah, anyways, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. So yeah, I will be up in the sky and having fun. When you guys are watching this. I'm sorry if this was a nothing burger video. I just needed to get something out. Because I feel bad when I don't have a consistent schedule and I promise things to people. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, but you should know when I say I'm gonna upload, like, or do something on a specific time, please just know, it's not me lying, but it's me making a promise that I know I can't keep. And usually I do preface, like, hey, don't take my word for it, kind of thing. So I'm gonna go. I need to, like, lay down and edit this bullshit. Okay, bye. And I'll see you later. Hopefully I actually do record something. What I'm gonna talk about, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Bye.